This is my Gen 2 2019 Ford Raptor, and she is in dire need of a detail. This is my daily driver, and between the drool, slobber, and hair that Wrigley leaves behind, and the fact that it's just been consistently raining on and off here, this thing's a mess. And generally I take it to the automatic car wash, but the problem is this thing just never gets 100% out of there. And that's because this thing's so wide. It's got these like nooks and crannies and everything because of it. It'll never get it 100%, and I understand that. Now, if I were to pay a professional detailer to detail this, I'm assuming it would be in that $400 to $500 range. And I have a little detail experience under my belt. I'm gonna try and do it myself. Every step they do, from the exterior detail to the interior shampoo. No shop, no help, just some decent gear and a little elbow grease. First things first, I think we're gonna start with the exterior on the truck first. So we're gonna go engine bay, wheel wells, wheels, running boards, paint windows, windows paint, whatever. That's the direction we're gonna go. This is the whole lineup of everything we plan to basically use today. A couple buckets, that one's gonna be for windows, electric pressure washer, Harbor Freight gloves, brushes. This is one of these like trendy tornado guns. This is the cheapest one I found on Amazon. So we'll see how this guy works. This is really good for like dog hair, which I have plenty of, no shortage. All the chemicals, brushes, pump sprayer, foam cannon, soap. We even got this little ceramic coat sealant kit from Cerakote. It's only 20 bucks. Read a lot of good reviews on that, so I'll be curious to see how that works out. And of course, some brushes that we're gonna hit the carpets with. For the engine bay, we're gonna be using this CarPro Multi-X. We're gonna dilute it down to like a 1 to 20 dilution. It even says on it, powerful multi-purpose cleaner for exterior and interior use. We're gonna be using it just primarily for the exterior. And I've seen some people use this as a wheel and tire cleaner. I have the Adams wheel and tire cleaner, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try both. On 2 of my wheels, since I ran them in the rear for so long during the winter, they kind of have this buildup that the automatic car wash just won't take off. And I just haven't really detailed and scrubbed them really, really good. So we're gonna see if one of these works better than the other. I don't know, it's kind of a tough film on those wheels, so I'm gonna be curious to see if any of these take them off. And can we one-hand it? Can we one-hand it? Can we one-hand it? Nope, we still can't. The engine bay isn't horrendous, but it could definitely use a good little detailing, especially under the hood. You can see how it's just kind of nasty. We're gonna take the pressure washer, we're gonna spray it off first, and then we're gonna douse it with our CarPro Multi-X and go through and just hit everything with the brush really, really good. Also, don't plug your pressure washer directly into an extension cord. It needs to go directly into the outlet. Do as I say, not as I do. When you're hitting this with your pressure washer, don't keep steady pressure in just one spot. Just kind of keep going over. That way you're not blasting just one thing and potentially ruin it, especially like electronics. So you just want to just kind of like keep a steady motion. Obviously, you're gonna wanna make sure you do your hood first, just because you've seen all the stuff that came out of it and it's gonna drip down. We're gonna take our solution. I already have it mixed at a 20 to 1 ratio, so I'm curious to see if how foamy it gets. Go ahead and pump this guy up. This is just the Home Depot pump sprayer, but these can be had like anywhere for cheap. I would not buy an expensive one for like $40. I think this was like 10 bucks. I will say it's not as foamy as I was hoping it'd be, but that might be just because of what I diluted it at. I decided just to knock the hood out first, rinse it off and get all of it off so that way I'm just not leaking more stuff on. I don't think it's really gonna make much difference. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna literally go through and try to hit every nook and cranny as best as possible with this brush. And then sometimes if I feel like it's kind of maybe drying out and I need more solution, I'm just gonna spray it directly into the brush. And I'm just gonna lie, engine bay cleaning has to be the funnest thing you could do to your vehicle. Engine bay's pretty good. We got the hood, we got everything as best we could with that brush and just agitate everything, and then we rinsed it all off. We won't know though until it dries out completely to see what all we missed, but we got the majority of it that we could with that brush. Next up are these wheel wells. They are absolutely disgusting. and that's because when you take it through the automatic car wash, they obviously don't really get these. Then we'll do the wheels and tires, and then we're gonna move on to the running boards. They're absolutely disgusting. Those never, I swear, even when I take it through the automatic car wash, I feel like it doesn't get them at all clean. Like, you have to manually clean those if you want those clean. And on the wheels, they have like a film from over winter because I literally have not detailed these at all. And we're also gonna make sure that we get the shock. So we're gonna get the wheel well, the shock. I'll spray the leaf spring back there, but I'm not concerned about that. My main thing is getting the wheel wells cleaned and getting the Fox live valves cleaned. And just like the engine bay, we're gonna spray it first, and then we're gonna use our multi-X and let it soak in there and agitate it with a brush. We've got one wheel well cleaned, brushed, agitated, rinsed, it's good to go. And instead of going to the next wheel well, we're gonna do the wheel and tire here because I hate moving my pressure washer back there to only move it back up here to do the wheel and tire. So just focus on one section. Wheel well, wheel and tire, move to the next. That way you get to do it all at once and you don't have to keep moving that back and forth. Like I said, we're gonna just use the multi-X on one wheel and tire, and then we're going to use the Adams wheel and tire cleaner on the other and just see if I notice a difference, if one's working better than the other. My tires aren't overly dirty. That's because the car wash usually hits them. The main thing that I'm worried about is getting in here because these get very dirty, and getting this lip clean because that's where a lot of that nasty residue is. I have multiple wheel and tire brushes, but my tires just really aren't that dirty, and that's probably because all us Raptor guys do is go to Starbucks and just hit curbs. Now on our way back, we're gonna go ahead and hit the running board because this thing is disgustingly filthy. It just holds dust and dirt really, really good. So I'm curious to see how good I can get these cleaned with hitting it with a brush, and then we'll move on to the back. We've got one running board out of the way, so now we just need to go through and finish the rest of it off. Rinse, chemical, agitate, rinse. So I'm gonna finish off the last three wheel wells, the last three wheels and tires, and the other running board, and then we can move on to the paint and windows. I did, however, use the multi-X on the wheels and tires, and then I also used the Adams wheel and tire cleaner, and I will say the Adams stuff was more potent, and you could like see just kind of like the road grime coming off the tire. I just think the multi-X probably is pretty good. It just needs more of the concentrate in the dilution, and I think it'll be a lot stronger and it'll foam more. But for right now, the Adams stuff did do a better job. The next step is we're gonna rinse the truck with the pressure washer, then we're gonna take the foam can and spray it down, and we're gonna take another one of our little brushes, and we're gonna go through and we're gonna basically brush every little nook and cranny that we can't get with just a regular wash mitt. So around the emblems, around the corner of the windows, corners of the taillights, all of that stuff. So let's get to it. Next up, now it's time for the foam cannon. I already have it mixed up. This is probably about 2 ounces of the Adams Polish Mega Foam. I really like this stuff, plus the cherry smell. You can't beat that. But anyways, yeah, about 2 ounces into this, and it's gonna foam really, really well. Then we also need to take a brush. These are these proper brands off of the Amazons. And there's 3 different sizes. Generally, I like to use the larger one for the stuff that I use the multi-X with, so tires, wheel wells, stuff like that. The smallest one I'm gonna use for the interior of the truck. And this medium-sized one, that's gonna be the one that I use to get all the nooks and cranny on the exterior of the truck. And this foam cannon, this is one of the cheap ones off of Amazon. It works really good, especially if you just use a good soap, like an actual foaming soap. It's gonna get the job done. You don't need no $50, $100 foam cannon. This thing works just fine. And for the soap that I'm gonna use this Meguiar's Ultimate Wash and Wax. I've always just used this in the past because I can get it locally. I really like the way it smells, and I feel like it does a pretty good job even with the wash and wax. And we just have one bucket that we're gonna use our scrubber with, and it's got the little tray to separate, but I'm not doing the 2 bucket method. So if I should be using 2 buckets, I guess go ahead and roast me down in the comments. So basically, I'm pretty much knocking this out in sections because I don't want the soap to dry. Currently right now it's getting dark, windy, all this humidity went away. There might be a storm rolling through, which is excellent. Perfect. So we've got a book. I just checked the radar. It doesn't appear that I'm gonna get hit, but those dark clouds, wind came in, a little cold front, kind of got me a little worried there. Still gonna hurry though, just in case, because we need to get this done so we can get the truck in the garage, and then that way we can work on the interior. And generally, I'm not gonna rinse the foam off. I know some of you guys are probably gonna be like, don't rinse it off, leave it on there, and then hand brush it. Well, here's the deal. Since I'm recording, it takes a little longer, so I'm just wanting to make sure that there isn't excess soap drying up on the truck. So we're rinsing it, but generally speaking, I'm gonna spray it with foam, I'm gonna hit it with this, and then I'm gonna go through and use my hand mitt, then rinse it off. And this grill really needs some love because all of these little honeycomb pieces, like it never just gets clean. It holds kind of like dirt, film, and whatever from the road. Now we're just gonna finish off the front bumper and we can go through it with our wash mitt, finalize this thing, and get the final rinse. And I haven't put the pressure washer away yet because I still have three things left that I need to do. I still have the door jambs to spray, and I was gonna do that first, but I kind of went back and forth. I just want to get the truck done so then that way I could get it out of the sun because I knew I was gonna be losing shade. So I do need to pull it back out, spray the door jambs off, so it might get a little water on the body of the truck, but it's not gonna be that big of a deal. I need to do the floor mats, and then I also need to do a pair of my tennis shoes. And you know what? The door jambs aren't that bad, so I don't even think I'm gonna hit them with the pressure washer. I think I'm just gonna take a microfiber and go through them really good, and maybe I'll take a detail brush to them, but I don't think I'm gonna have to hit it with that. These aren't that dirty because these are kind of fairly new. They don't need like a super deep cleaning by any means, especially the rears because no one really sets in the rears. And yes, I have 2 pairs of white Adidas NMDs. Just be prepared to have your mind blown. Now look at that. That thing is pretty clean. There's still just a little bit, but I'm telling you, if you guys try to just hand wash these with like a brush or something, you're never gonna get them clean. Take a pressure washer to them, they're gonna look brand new once they dry up. I'm just gonna use a little of the Multi-X on the floor mats. I don't think you can go wrong with anything. You can literally use soap. I think there's some products that are actually designed for floor mats, but mine aren't that disgusting. This will do it. And I'm just gonna use the same exact brush that I was using earlier for everything Multi-X on these. I think you guys are getting it. Rinse, chemical, solution, soap, whatever. Agitate, rinse. And I bet you didn't think you were gonna realize we were gonna detail trucks and tennis shoes today. We're done with the pressure washer. I really need to up my detail game, especially if I plan to do more videos like this, because what started off as not tangled, it is now a full-on tangled mess out there. I hate it. I absolutely hate that. So I think we need to switch to one of those setups where it's like a retractable hose, pressure washer. It's like a super clean setup. I think it's like Giraffe Tools or something like that. I don't know. There's probably multiples of them that someone made and someone rebranded it, but we need to get rid of that because that sucks. All right. Paint's clean, but it's not done yet. We gotta take it from clean to crispy. Generally too, what I'll do is whenever I'm doing any sort of like wax, quick wax, anything like that, I'm gonna use 2 microfibers, one to get the bulk of it, and then the second one's to more or less buff it out. And what we're doing right now is we're trying to just get all the water spots off the truck. Because it was outside in the sun for just a little bit with water, that water baked on and created water spots. So we just gotta make sure we get all those spots off before we start applying that ceramic coat kit. We're gonna finish off the rest of the truck with the Lucas Slick Mist Speed Wax. This is all I have. This works, smells like bubble gum. Don't chew it, don't swallow it, but it smells good. And I will say the old Raptor could benefit from a good clay bar and probably a paint correction. That's gonna be for another time, another day, another place. And for science reasons, I went through and detailed the whole truck besides this half of the hood. So this side I hit with the spray wax, and now we're gonna hit it with the ceramic detailer for science reasons. And it basically just mist right onto it. So it doesn't spray like heavy. You're gonna wanna use 2 of the microfiber towels that it comes with and basically just start in a pattern. So I'm gonna just go back and forth because we wanna make sure we spread it and hit all of the paint. because if you miss a spot, then it's not going to be protected and it's not going to be smooth. So now we've done that. So now we're gonna go back and forth, just like so. And then you'll take your second towel. This comes in the kit, by the way. It's pretty much already dry, but this is just an extra little buff out type of deal. I can already feel the smoothness. That's all you have to do for this ceramic coat. It's actually pretty simple. We haven't done anything to this side of the hood. This side of the hood's the one that's treated. And basically I'm gonna do a little water test because I wanna see how well, if and better, this beads up with having the ceramic coat detailer on it. Okay, so this side, not bad. The side with nothing on it, no chemicals, no wax, nothing, just the wash and wax soap that we used. I mean, it technically kind of beads up, but I do get a wax coating from the automatic car wash. This is the side with that ceramic coat, and I just feel like it does have a little more beading potential to it. You can just tell, just from adding that little layer though, the paint is way smoother than the paint over here. Like this feels like, it just doesn't feel smooth. Like it doesn't glide like over here. So the main thing that I'm looking for is how long this is gonna last, how many car washes I get out of it. If it does help, because I get like road grime stuff that doesn't get off of my truck when it's through the automatic car wash, which is normal. So what I'm curious to see is if by having this coating on here, it helps just remove that stuff in the automatic car wash a lot easier. See, I can just tell when I come over here and dry this side, the towel just doesn't glide like it glides on the other half. Now, I don't think we're gonna do the windows with this stuff, but we're gonna go through and do my plastic stuff that is painted. So this is painted, I think, like a magnetic gray. Not gonna do those plastics. We're gonna do everything paint. We're not gonna do the windows. So basically anything that's white we're gonna do, and anything that's painted in this magnetic color, like my bumper up here. I am gonna do the headlights though. I will do those. So I'm just gonna basically go through, spray it down, wipe, and it's good to go. I think this is gonna be a clutch product for you guys to use at 20 bucks, especially if you don't want to ceramic coat your truck. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, this stuff works really good. It goes on super quick. If I was an auto detailer, I would probably honestly offer this as like an extra service and just do a little upcharge for it. 20 bucks a bottle, that is a deal. Ceramic coating is done, kind of. Will it last 6 months? Who knows? Am I gonna impress my neighbors? Hell no. They're all Chevy people. I will just say, Chuck looks, feels shinier, glossier. 10 out of 10 recommend trying that product. Now that the outside's fixed up, let's fix the mess inside. There's probably some crumbs from Casey's Pizza. If you know, you know. We got more dog hair than Wrigley himself. We have some stuff up here that I can't even identify. Okay, actually I'm lying. These would be from Wrigley's pup cups. He's a mess. The inside of the window has nothing but Wrigley snot all over it. We also have Wrigley's drool all over this, so we got some work ahead of us. 3 things we need: compressor, shop vac, tornado gun. All this tornado gun does is it's got a little hose inside of it. So it's literally like kind of like your normal just gun, but this hose on the inside of it, see how it spins in like a tornado motion? Basically that is designed to help fling up all of that hair. So while I'm blowing every nook and cranny out of hair that I can, I'm gonna be running that shop vac with it. We're basically sucking up all the dust, dirt, and sins from the past year. Is it fun? Not even a little bit. I don't have an adapter to run this in the shop vac all the way over here. So we're just gonna loosen up the dog hair first and then hit it with the shop vac. So I'm gonna try to spray it as best I can to get it out. And then we're gonna go through, spray this door off as well. But you can see it definitely loosens the hair up, and we can just start working our way out of the truck. I haven't even hit this with the vacuum. This is strictly just with that tornado gun. So you can see it took out just a lot of it. Now all we've got to do is anything that's like loose particle, whatever hairs, we just need to vacuum it up with the shop vac. Next, we're attacking all the plastic pieces. This is where the pros make the interior pop. And there's 4 things that we're going to be using. A brush, we're gonna use that one, brand new, small one. We actually have a couple different interior items. Before I was just using just this, which is the Jay Leno's Garage Interior Detailer Protectant. It doesn't really add a shine, it's more of a matte shine. They just released this, which is an all-purpose interior cleaner. I wanted to get either the Kosh Chemie, I think it's the Polestar, because it foams up really good, or the P&S Express interior cleaner, but the problem was I couldn't get it in time. Then this came out, and this was at Walmart. And the reason I wanted to try it is because it says powerful, foaming. So I'm curious to see if this actually foams, because the P&S Express and the Kosh Chemie stuff, it actually foams. We picked up some of these scrubber pads off Amazon. This side's more coarse, and then this side's like a microfiber. Basically, you're gonna wanna spray down your stuff, scrub with the rougher part, buff with the microfiber. You're still gonna wanna make sure you buff with just a regular microfiber, because this is gonna get probably soaked up quick. And then for the carpets on the floor, we're gonna go through and we are gonna spray the P&S Carpet Balmer onto the carpet, and then we're gonna agitate it with the brush. We're gonna go ahead and just attack the worst door panel in this truck, just to see how well both of these items do. So you can see this is nasty, wriggly mess. I'm not worried about the windows because we're gonna get the windows here soon. So far, this product is not really foaming like I thought it would. It even literally says powerful foaming, cleans dirt and grime. It probably cleans dirt and grime, but it is not foaming at all. I mean, if you spray a bunch, but that's way overkill. Yeah, no foaming at all. So I don't like that. Did it get the door clean? Yes. Did it foam? No, not at all. Now we literally get to go through. I'm gonna take this scrub pad, this brush, and I'm going to literally get every nook and cranny, vents, key spot, I mean, just everywhere around where I can shimmy both of these items. And then once I get all of the plastics, the leather, stuff like that, the last thing we're gonna do outside of the carpet, then we're gonna do the seats, because I don't wanna clean the seats and then sit in the seats. I have brushed and scrubbed everywhere inside this truck. This interior is mint. For the windows, this is where we're just gonna take our Dawn dish soap, put a little in this bucket. You don't have to go crazy. We're gonna fill this up probably about halfway with water. First things first, that bucket with the Dawn dish soap, you're gonna take one microfiber towel, you're just gonna dunk it and get it wet. And the reason why you want to clean the exterior first is because that way it'll kind of help you on the inside. And usually when I do this, I get the rag wetter, but I don't want a bunch dripping down since the truck is already clean. But this will be plenty since these windows really aren't that dirty. They just have some water spots. Now what you'll do is you'll take your squeegee and just squeegee your window off. And that's why I've got this here, so I can get any excess. So now we're just gonna repeat the same process on all the windows. We're gonna go through and we're gonna do the rest of the exterior windows, including the sunroof, and then we're gonna go through and do the interior. I seen this on another YouTuber, I can't remember his name. This is the best way that I've found. I've tried the 3 rag method, and I leave this garage still irritated. But when I do it this way, it's clean. For the windows, the first thing I do is lay a towel down on the dash, and then our microfiber rag that we dunked in the Dawn dish soap solution, we're gonna go through and thoroughly clean the windshield. I usually do one half, and then I'll squeegee it clean, and then I'll switch seats and do the other half. You won't be able to get the windshield 100% dry with just the squeegee, so you're gonna wanna end up using that towel that you laid down on the dash to wipe off any of the excess. Every window is now dialed. That is the way. Now let's take our Carpet Balmer by P&S. I'm not affiliated with any of these companies, just FYI. And all we're gonna do is, you don't have to spray a ton, you just have to like mist it. And you can see it misted out quite a bit. And then we're just gonna let it set for about 3 minutes, and then we're gonna hit it with our drill that has the brush on it. This side though, I will say, isn't that bad to where I don't really feel like it's needed, but we're gonna do it anyway. This is the side that needs it worse. That's because Wrigley and his pup cups. We're just gonna spray the seats down with the interior cleaner. Hit it with our scrub pad on the coarse side, and then buff it out with the microfiber, and then the door jambs, and that will cap off this detail. It's nice having a clean vehicle, but the feeling you get having a fully detailed vehicle, nothing like it. This is quite literally the cleanest the Gen 2 has ever been since I've owned it. Even when I first purchased it from the dealership, it had like water spots all over it, and I tried to clay bar it. Clay bar was gonna take me hours upon hours to get all the water spots removed. So I actually had picked up a Chemical Guys product, which was a water spot remover. I didn't think it was really gonna work better than a clay bar kit. That water spot remover worked so good. I swear it's like liquid clay bar on crack. That was one of the first things I did to this truck. But I had yet to detail it like I just fully did. Is it perfect? No. Did I learn a lot? Definitely. And honestly, I'm kind of proud of this. This truck was filthy, and now it looks like it belongs in a dealership lot. And to cap this detail off, instead of using tire shine, I used this product from Malco. It's Blue Blazes, and it's an all-purpose dressing, and a buddy of mine over at Auto Addictions, Doug, turned me onto this stuff. I used it on the tires, and you can see there's no shine. It literally just makes the tire, like, basically kind of have a new look. It might have the littlest of sheen, but I promise you, this is the best stuff for your tires, especially if you're having troubles getting them kind of just cleaner looking. My KO2s on my Gen 1 Raptor, I was having issues getting those clean, and this Blue Blaze stuff made them look new again. It makes your wheel wells just look fresh again. And I also used it on the running boards as well. The running boards, they were looking pretty good after pressure washing them, but they still had that just kind of like little dirty film to them. So using that Blue Blaze by Malco kind of just capped them off, and now these things look brand new again. As for how long it's gonna hold up, I'm not sure. It doesn't even really add any more slickness. Oh yeah, look at them shoes. Look at those shoes. Those look brand new. Told you, don't sleep on pressure washing them. And you can also use that Blue Blaze stuff on plastics. So I used it back here and just kind of freshened this whole back piece up. I also used it on my exhaust tips just to kind of help bring those back to life, even though they're just kind of crappy and they could really use either fresh paint, or I just need to go with some aftermarket exhaust. The interior is pretty much mint again. I'm sure there's probably a hair or three from Wrigley still. It's hard to get every hair out of this damn truck. But for the floor mats, I did use the Blue Blaze stuff on those. Now, I don't directly spray it on there. I just spray a little on the rag, and then I just wipe it off, and it gets those things looking fresh. So that Blue Blaze stuff, I really swear by it for like plastics tires. Although I don't use it on this stuff here, I just use that Jay Leno stuff. The Jay Leno's interior cleaner, it worked good. Like the door over there, it got all of that nasty slobbery stuff from Wrigley off. But the only thing that I didn't like with it is it didn't foam at all. And the reason why I wanted it to foam, my theory is because once you see it foaming, then you know like where to wipe and that you wiped it up really good. If you're in a pinch and you're at like Walmart or something, I would pick it up and use it. I would opt for one that's got a really good foam to it. And for the door jambs, those microfibers, the ones that I used to scrub down all the interior, I used another one of those and just sprayed some Multi-X on it and used that for the door jambs, and it got these things looking fresh. Lastly, we'll show you guys under the hood. The engine bay came out pretty good. I just feel like the Multi-X wasn't strong enough, so I had to do some more scrubbing. I will say the hood under here still doesn't look that great, and maybe I should have agitated it with my drill. Once this thing dried up, I took that Blue Blazes and kind of just went through and hit everything that was just like kind of dirty a little bit and got the main big items. Engine bay was never this clean when I purchased it. If you've ever wondered if it's worth trying yourself, do it. Just know it's going to take time, energy, and a solid playlist. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, drop a comment and tell me your favorite detail products, or if I just missed something big. And if this video gets enough likes, I will do a full detail on the Gen 1 Raptor, even though this took forever. And now the hard part, trying to keep this thing clean for 48 hours.